In this video, we're going to tackle percentage error. The percentage error formula is in the formula packet for the IBAISL course. I highly recommend that you always take a look at the formula in the formula packet because here VE is the exact value, not the estimated value, and VA is the approximate value. And I cannot tell you how many of my students in the past have made the mistake of switching these two. And these are easy points on the exam. Percentage error is going to be on your test. If you take a look right here, this is a long question. It would be a paper 2 style question. And right here, embedded within the question is where you're going to see that they're asking you for percentage error. If you get to this question and you think, I have no idea how to answer any of these questions, you need to keep looking because here all the way in part F is where they're asking you for the percentage error. Now, IB has said that even in paper 2 questions, the ones that are really long, there are multiple points of entry. So right now, this is one of those instances where you can get the answer for percentage error. So be on the lookout for these percentage error questions. If we focus just on that part, it says additional data was used to create model B, a revised model for the braking distance of a truck. Use model B to calculate an estimate for the braking distance at a speed of 20 meters per second. So for part E, all you have to do is substitute. If I get 0.95 times 20 squared minus 3.92 times 20. Even though they give you units, you never want to substitute units into your equations because it's one of the easiest ways for you to get confused. So we put this in our calculator, 0.95 times 20 squared minus 3.92 times 20. And this is going to give you 301.6. They're asking you to find the estimate. So this value is going to be the approximate once we get to the percentage error formula. It says the actual braking distance at 20 meters per second is 320. So that 320 is going to be our exact value. Always look at the formula booklet to make sure that you're using these values correctly. In the formula booklet, you're going to see VE is exact, VA is the approximate. You want to set up the problem exactly the way you see it. The approximate 301.6 minus the exact of 320 divided by 320. You want to make sure you put those in absolute value bars times 100% or just times 100. There's no percent button that you're going to put on the calculator. Let's go ahead and put this as a fraction in the calculator. On the graphing calculator in the TI-84 model, I can go to alpha y equals and I can enter this as a fraction so I don't make a mistake. 301.6 minus 320 all divided by 320. And remember, this gets multiplied by 100. Again, there's no 100%, and I am not going to put absolute value in the calculator. However, absolute value is distance from 0, which means that the answer is going to be positive 5.75. So back in your paper, you're going to put 5.75%. Do not make the mistake of writing negative. It is positive because of the absolute value bars. That's the easiest way for you to not get any points on this question. This is the mark scheme. This is actually what the grader gets when they go to grade your paper. Notice they give you 1 point for method, 1 point for showing your work where you are substituting just like what we did, another point for the answer. Again, for the second part, you're going to get 1 point for showing the work, how you're substituting into the formula, and 1 for the final answer. Even if you were to make a mistake back here, you will get what's called follow-through points. And follow-through points are very important because you can still salvage the 2 marks from this question just by showing your work. Okay, let's tackle this question. This is a paper 1 question. What that means is that in paper 1, which is the first part of the test that you're going to take, you have about 13 short response questions. This one is a standalone question and it is on plugging things into your calculator and then finding percentage error. Katya approximates pi correct to 4 decimal places by using the following expression. Calculate Katya's approximation of pi correct to 4 decimal places. Let's put this into our calculator. In the calculator, we're going to enter this exactly the way we see it. 3 plus, and because the rest of it's a fraction, I'm going to go alpha y equals to turn this into a fraction, 1 over 6 plus, and once again, this is also in a fraction, so I do it again, 13 over 16. This is going to give me an answer of 343 over 109, which is great. That's an exact answer written as a fraction. However, I want this rounded to 4 decimal places. Go to math, decimal, press enter, and now you're going to be able to see all the decimal values. Well, not all of them, but you'll be able to see a lot of them. So we are going to keep 4 decimal places. That means the 1, the 4, the 6. Now the 7 is either going to stay 7 or become 8. You have to take a look next door at the 8. When you write down your answer, I highly recommend that you write the entire thing down, because this is kind of like showing your work, and then you're going to keep the 4 decimal places. So here, this is going to be 3.1468 as a final answer, because next to the 7 is the 8, which is 5 or higher. Now for part B, it says calculate the percentage error in using Katya's 4 decimal place approximation of pi compared to the exact value of pi in your calculator. What does this mean? This right here is my approximation. This is my approximate value, the 3.1468. Always refer back to the formula in the formula booklet. We said 3.1468 is going to be my approximate value. You don't have to write VA on your paper. It's just for us to keep track of it. And the exact value will be pi in its entirety. Set up the problem. Even though it's easy to just put this into your calculator, you want to get the points for method. So I'm going to write the approximate 3.1468 minus pi, which is the exact value, all over the exact value, which is pi, times 100%. And again, don't worry about that percent. You can write it down or not write it down. It's okay. Let's go to our calculator. We're going to put this into a fraction form. I get 3.1468 minus pi all over pi times 100. So we get 0.16575 ... which I can round to 3 significant figures as 0.166%. Here is the mark scheme so that you can see how they give you points. For you to get the first credit, they want you to write down the entire answer. So you would have gotten 1 point for method for showing the entire answer and then rounding. So it's always important to show your work. Same thing goes for percentage error. 1 point for method for setting it up. And the second one is for actually getting the correct answer. Remember, you should be using the exact value of pi from your graphic display calculator, your GDC. And that's how we got that value of 0.166%. Because they were not very specific as to how they wanted it, if you would have just left it this way, they would have given you the full point. I hope you found this video helpful. Remember to subscribe to my channel for more help with math so that you can say, yes, I can do math with confidence. Until next time, thanks for watching.